All right, America. We know that NBA Finals just ended. The Golden State Warriors pulled it off. My brother Tim G. Jacob was correct in picking the Warriors. Y'all know I was torn, as I told y'all that was a nightmare finals for me. Being a Lakers fan, being a protector of Kobe Bean Bryant's legacy. If the Celtics would have won, that would have been 18 titles for them. It's not good for my blood pressure as a Lakers fan. With the Warriors winning, now everybody, talking about. I heard somebody say, "Well, Steph is not that far away from Kobe as we thought." It's starting, America. But it
Hey,
happened.
it's okay though. For what it's worth, Jason Tatum was there to help protect Kobe's legacy too, so it's okay. It's all right. It's okay. So y'all have that in common.
He
Y'all
should
have
have
that in common.
he should have put the armband back on because Kobe would be disappointed right now. He would
Yeah.
be disappointed.
Stop texting Kobe, please.
See there. But the Warriors pulled it off, y'all, in six, led by their core, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. They got a hell of an addition to come in and play the role of not KD, but Harrison Barnes from the 2015 season. That's Andrew Wiggins.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I'll take a former number one pick. I'll take that. And now they have won 4 titles in the last 8 years. So, America, I got 5 quick takeaways from the finals. I want to bounce these off my brothers, okay? See how they feel about these. All right. First 5 takeaways from the NBA finals. Roll with me, people. Number 1. The most underrated thing about Steph Curry's game is his conditioning. Okay? I say that because of this. Steph did numbers on that Boston Celtics defense that touched up Kevin Durant. And I got to thinking, wow, what is the difference? KD is a 7-foot skilled guy. How in the world was he hampered so much by a defense that couldn't hamper Steph? And the only thing I can think of is Steph can move without the ball. And you can be big and tough and strong and physical, but one thing you don't want to do when you playing defense is chase folk. Y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all OGs out there. If you go play with your young boys, you going to try to find, hey, man, which one of y'all don't be doing all that running? I ain't trying to do all that running. Them NBA boys, same way. You don't want to chase stuff around. And so with him being able to move around like that constantly, not have to have the ball, if he coming out the screen roll, if every single time he was coming out the screen roll, they can just blitz that. Okay? Yeah. But a lot of those actions, this man ain't got the ball in a split second. Woo, giving the go. Woo, you can't sleep. You got to stay attached. And for him to do all that, that boy lungs got to be crazy. He ain't never seen no Black and Mild, no nothing before. He ain't never put nothing in them lungs. Okay, that boy's conditioning is crazy. Number 2, Klay Thompson's presence on the court is an assist. I coined this phrase, America. Me, don't let nobody take it. I coined this phrase. I call it a reputation assist. I came up with that back when the Warriors had KD, and I was watching the finals, and they were on a fast break, and Steph sprinted for the tray ball. And the defense, instead of getting back to the paint, they went with Steph and gave a dunk up to KD. I said, bro, that's nuts. That's a reputation assist. So then I got to think about it. When you hoop, if you're a shooter, when you playing pickup, if you're a shooter and folks don't want to leave you, what are you doing? You are creating space for others to operate. That's your reputation assist. And Klay did not shoot the best, okay? He's not back to pre-Achilles and pre-knee.
Yeah,
play.
yeah.
Dang. But your mind as a hooper ain't thinking that. You know that's Klay Thompson. You ain't trying to leave that guy.
Yeah, that's a lethal shooter. That's what's in your mind.
You still ain't leaving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Think America, y'all saw when Andrew Wiggins had that dunk. I think he had Derrick White on him maybe. And he came through the lane hard. The defense didn't even bluff. You know how you supposed to bluff and recover. They didn't even bluff. Why? Because Klay Thompson and Steph Curry were over there. Both of them jokers be getting reputation assists. Okay. So I was thinking about this because I was thinking, what didn't work last year? Because they had Steph, you had Draymond, you had Wiggins, you had Looney, and you had Kelly Oubre. But Oubre can't get no reputation assists. He's a slasher. You can help off him. He can hit some threes, but he ain't Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson helped their spacing, and the rest was history. Number 3, big sports media. Y'all need to shut up. Stop it. Stop the capping. Stop it. Stop it right now. Y'all sat up here and buried these men. Y'all sat up here and said they were dead and gone, that the dynasty was over. That was so ignorant. I picked them boys to be the number 2 seed last year. Why? Because I was like, if Steph Curry is what he said, what y'all say he is, and he's the top 5 point guard all time, undoubtedly. But folks be saying he's number 1. So I said, if you got the greatest point guard ever, and you got the arguably the second greatest shooter ever, and you got a top, I don't know what we're gonna put Draymond as a defender.
If you ask him, he's number 1.
Let's just say he's top. Just say top.
Let's say he's top. How about that?
I was about to say top 10, but I don't want to be lazy like they be saying. But he's a great defender. No doubt. How can you just say that core that won a title and won 73 games is this dead? But y'all said that, big sports media, and now look at what you're doing. Now you're saying these boys are automatic favorites to repeat.
Get them.
You talk about hopping on and off of the deck. That's what they doing.
There was another guy. I won't mention his name because he should get no attention and love here. But a national writer that said that they now have an 8-year window, a 5 to 8 year window based off the current group that they have and the young guys that they have. If Wiseman becomes what he's supposed to, and Kuminga steps up, and now they got Poole. So now it goes from, like you said, now it goes from these guys are dead in the water to we have a 5 to 8 year window.
Bro, how old is Steph?
Yeah. 33, 34, something like that.
So he gonna be 40?
But the logic they're using now is the logic that they should have been using. It's the logic that I was using. They sucked. So what happens when you suck? You get a high draft pick. That's what the Spurs did. The Spurs, we know through the 90s, were contenders in the West.
Yeah.
Contenders in the West. They had David Robinson, one of the best players of all time. They were contenders in the West. He got hurt. They sucked. That allowed them to get Tim Duncan. Well, what y'all think he was gonna do when Dave Robinson come back from injury? Now you got him, an all-timer, and you got that number 1 pick. It was the same thing. They sucked. So now when if Wiseman gets right, or you might decide to trade him for more depth. You know what I'm saying? If Wiseman and Poole can turn into something, imagine Steph as a spot shooter for them.
Poole up for a contract, if I'm not mistaken, though.
Yeah, they said they're gonna get the bag. Y'all saw that little thing. They want their money. We're gonna see how that turns out. 4, the Celtics have to increase their basketball IQ. I'm not gonna go as hard on them. Okay, I made the little Kobe joke. I apologize. But Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Ime Udoka. Okay, they got to come on with it because there were too many instances in which they were not attacking mismatches.
Yeah,
too many instances. You had Marcus Smart posting Steph, which he is bigger and stronger than Steph, but that's not how the brilliant guys do it. You don't want your third best scorer attacking Steph. I want to create the switch and let Brown and Tatum attack Steph. That's what the kind of stuff LeBron always would do. I'm going to get the weak link defensively on me. Y'all remember when Bron played against the Celtics that year? He kept getting Kelly Olynyk switched on to him. Yeah. And Brad Stevens was just playing them heads up, switching everything, playing heads up. And Bron was just barbecue chicken. They don't play patiently enough offensively. They're just too young, not enough film study. Just instead of where's Steph? Where's Poole? I'm a player. I don't want to play against Draymond and Wiggins.
Yeah, I know. Sloppy with it
league,
too.
In this league, it ain't like when we were growing up and you actually having a hedge on all the screening roles. And it's very few times I remember us switching everything, like when we played together.
Right.
Or even when we were growing up watching NBA ball.
Right.
It's very rarely they switching everything. Now when they switching everything, hey, you got now the Warriors were trying to protect Steph and Poole. They wouldn't switch when them ball would come up most of the time. They would try to hedge and then recover. But if they hedge, that means something open on the backside. But you got to involve them in the action every time. Okay. Last point, 5. The Celtics can win a title with Marcus Smart as their point guard. Fuck what Stephen A. Smith talking about. Fuck what Shannon Sharp talking about. Fuck what Skip Bayless talking about. That's lazy analysis that they're providing to you. You do not have to have a classic point guard to win an NBA championship. How do I know this? Because Phil Jackson got 11 championships without a classic point guard.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's point guards were for his titles: John Paxson, B.J. Armstrong, and Ron Harper. In LA, you got Ron Harper and Derek Fisher. LeBron 4 championships. He was the point guard.
Yeah.
Mario Chalmers.
Yep.
Kyrie told y'all he ain't no point guard. Come on, man. And then over here with my Lakers, who had that point? Who we just won this title?
That's
Caldwell.
The point in name.
Caruso.
Caldwell Pope was the starter.
Caldwell Pope. Yeah, one of the other. Caruso.
No. Or was it Avery Bradley?
Y'all see what we talking about? You see my point? We can't even remember who the point guard was on it, and I'm a Laker fan.
Yeah.
I know LeBron Raymond James Sr. was my point guard. This lazy analysis by these guys. What has to happen is your stars got to be stars. And all those instances we named, whether it's the Bulls dynasty, now you didn't have a classic point guard. You had defending point guards who can make spots, who can spot shoot other than Ron Harper. But Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen had to be facilitators. They led the team in assists. That your stars got to be stars. When you go to the Kobe years with the Lakers, Kobe leading the team in assists. Your star got to be a star. So LeBron, your star got to be a star. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown gonna have to be better. Your point guard was a defensive player of the year. Okay, so it ain't like that man trash.
The thing is, they didn't lose off assists. It was because what you just said. They stars were not stars. Tatum, 6 of 18, 8 of 23, 9 of 23, 8 of 19, 3 of 17.
Star got to be star. And they young. They're young. I'll give them that. They're young. They're young. Somebody put up a dope stat showing Bean first finals, Brum first finals, and Tatum first finals. A lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's gonna take time, but it instead of just saying that, which is so easy to say, hey, this man, Jay Tatum, been what, 3-4 conference finals, been to a final. That's incredible. He only 24 years old.
Yeah.
Instead of saying he's still young and he has to grow in his role as a star, instead of saying the first year head coach has to grow, seems like Ime is a great defensive coach, but it seems like he got to grow in the offensive scheming.
Yeah.
Instead of saying they can't win without, they got to a game 6 with that point guard. Game 6 of the NBA Finals with that point guard.
Yeah.
That's just crazy to me, but that's what I got. What y'all brothers thinking? I know y'all already chimed in a little bit, and one of y'all said something I sure enough want to go back to. I think that was Caesar that said something about this dude. Who said that, Caesar? Is it this a big guy? This one of these guys?
Yeah, it's a big. Listen, I don't want to give him.
We gotta come for his check. Are we coming for his check, Caesar?
People can Google. I'll do it. I don't care. Chris Mannix, Sports Illustrated, went on and he said because of their window now they have a 4. I think he said like 4 to 6 years. I know I said 5 to 8, but I think it's like 4 to 6 years. But to me, again, it's sloppy because what changed? They won a championship, but
was he on this previously, or was he with the rest of the chorus?
I don't know.
Okay.
I do know that that's crazy talk to say that a team where their stars are aging, they're on the wrong side of their basketball career. And what I mean by that is that they're not going to get younger. They're 33, they're 32. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are not finding the fountain of youth. Now, I do think they're going to be competitive, but for you to say their championship window now all of a sudden extends because they win a championship, that's crazy, man. That's crazy talk. First of all, it's crazy talk because Steph mentioned this last year that they were already here. He said it last year. He said, nobody wants to see us once we get back and where we get to where we want to be. Right? I picked the Celtics, but that doesn't mean that I ignored what Steph Curry said. They are a good team as long as that unit is in place and they draft the right way. Like, they got good guys coming in every year. They find key spots to bring in with Andrew Wiggins. So they're going to be there on that. On the Celtics side, the one stat that constantly sticks out to me, and I've seen it a couple of times, I don't like the way that they're playing the kid on this because he had a phenomenal postseason, but it is something that needs to be harped on. Jason Tatum, first player in NBA history with 100 turnovers in the playoffs. We can't have that. Like, that's the part of his game that he has to work on. I know some people say he's got to get more to his bag. He's got to be able to create for teammates. Man, you got to protect the rock. You cannot turn the ball over and in the finals give the Golden State Warriors extra possessions, because their extra possessions are unlike anybody else's extra possessions in the NBA. It turns into threes real quick and then you fall behind. If you notice, man, like in the games that the Celtics lose, not just against the Warriors, but in the playoffs in general, they'll have a lead. Like, they'll come out and their game plan works. Like, they give teams the real work, but they have these lapses in judgment, just lapses in activity. And that's what comes back to bite them. Part of that is youth, but you got to clean it up. And the only way to clean it up on that side of it is film study and being better with ball possession, ball control, and just your ball handling skills in general. Like, I really do think that Tatum is a phenomenal player. Jaylen Brown too, but they turn the ball over too much, in particular when they're headed to the rim. And guys kind of stab at the ball when they're going through. They got to do that part. They got to put in that work. Because if you can limit turnovers, man, you give yourself an awesome opportunity to win. Because like we said, we already know they're a top 3 defense. So they're always going to be in the game just off their defense alone. But you can't give the other team extra possession. So those are the two things I would say. Just individually clean it up a little bit. And then with experience, you'll get better. And unfortunately, on this side of the coin, the experience is you lost to a historic team. But in the grand scheme of things, this experience is going to help them tremendously as they move forward as an organization.
JoJo, what were your thoughts on that?
I'm with you, Ray, on the turnovers, man. It was very evident that that's what killed them.
Yeah.
Like, really, even with Tatum shooting not his best, like, it was the turnovers. Like, literally, they were down 20 plus. They come back, get within 2, and then 3-4 turnovers straight.
Mm-hmm.
Now you back down 8-10 points. Like, you just can't do it. They were, we keep saying inexperience. And you're going to have some people that say, well, they had Al Horford. He'd been in the league forever. Well, it was his first finals.
Mm-hmm.
And as we all know, conference finals is different than finals. Like, the pressure, as it gets later, the pressure is greater. And it's different. For me, man, like you said, the IQ, though. Horford had Steph on him many times in the paint, and you can't get a bucket.
That Joker passed it out, Joe. Instead of shooting the jump hook.
Tatum, you got Steph on you, and you trying to get fouled for what? That little pull through that you doing. Okay, maybe that worked in the regular season. They're not calling it now, so stop doing it.
Calling it different.
Stop doing it. I hate to put our brother out here like this, but do y'all remember when we were playing intramural and one of our partners, he called himself Kobe, and he was up here doing the pump fake. Come by, he was gonna get fouled.
Yeah.
And they were not calling it, and he was costing us possession. That's what Tatum was out there doing. Listen, they not calling. So stop.
You got to get over it, man.
and you 6'9", man, go on back that man down, put a hook, and put that ball in the basket. But you know, I picked the Celtics in 7. So that was me giving the Warriors their respect. That's like a toss-up. But I don't know. This 4 to 6 year window that they talking about, they look good, but I don't see it.
Now,
Because I think other teams are going to get better.
true.
And for me, look, they won the ship. You can't take it from them. But Ja Morant did get hurt. They did play Jokic with only Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
They did play the Mavericks, and all they had was Luka.
But that goes back to what Wells was saying, though. Like the mainstream media quickly forgets. Like they quickly forget that all of the things you just said happened. Ja Morant didn't have his guy. Shoot, Luka didn't have his guy, and Tim Hardaway Jr. Like that's a whole option that people are forgetting didn't even play.
Yep.
Jokic didn't have his guy. Giannis and his squad. Middleton wasn't there. Who's to say Giannis is not back in the finals? You know what I mean? So like all of these ifs, and I know ifs are a part of the game. Injuries are a part of the game. I got that. But just like injuries are a part of the game, the Warriors may have injuries again too. When they had injuries, they missed the whole entire postseason. So like we can't live on this, because they got this championship. Now it's a 4 to 6 year window. No, dude. It's year after year. Kawhi and Paul George are coming back. Right? Like let's not forget about that. On the East, these guys are gonna be hungry. The Celtics are not even guaranteed to be back. So there's this whole idea of just because we're gonna see this rematch again this year. I'm done with that. I picked the Bucks and the Suns to be back in the finals. That equation has now been proven to not be accurate every time. Yeah. I clearly thought those were the two best teams in the regular season,
exactly
and it didn't matter. It didn't matter. So that equation just doesn't work anymore, man. Now you have to see who's hot, who has guys that can go when the lights are the brightest, and who has that 1-2 punch that when your one is not having the best game, the two can back them up. So that's what I'm looking. That's what I'm looking to in the future when it comes to postseason play.
I understand, dude, logic, the Manny sketch you're talking about.
Sure.
All I'm saying is, where was this when I was getting laughed at, even by my family, by my brothers? Y'all saw them, America. When I took them boys, it was a running joke through last year when them boys was sucking and ended up in the play-in.
Yeah.
And I took them as the 2 seed in our preseason thing.
Yeah.
But my logic was sound. That with that core, I'm like, man, these boys ought to be good. You know what I'm saying? But as I said, maybe Clay meant that much. I really want to look into last year and see what the world was up with that. You know what I'm talking about? With Oubre and Thompson, that big a deal. I can't remember, did they have some other injuries? Did Draymond miss some time as well? Like what the world really went on that last year these boys can't make the playoffs. And this year, they did what they did. I got to look at that. Because I would say they underperformed last year. That's why I was embarrassed last year. What happened this year would have happened last year. We would have been out of here by now because they would have said, this man is Negro dumbest. But it's just crazy to me how, and Defo beat me to it, because I was going to go make a tweet and try to chop up all the things these boys had said, like Nick Wright saying that Andrew Wiggins is a bad basketball player.
Yeah.
He was saying that was idiotic for the Warriors to get him. Andrew Wiggins, a former number 1 pick, who now he's not a 1. He's not a franchise player.
Right.
He probably ain't even a 2. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no Scottie Pippen role and like that. But for this team where he can be in terms of responsibility.
Yeah.
What you got, the 4th?
Oh, it's everything.
3rd.
It's everything.
3rd, 4th? 4th. Probably 4th most responsibility.
Yeah.
Because all the leadership is coming from the core of Steph, Draymond, and Clay. Ain't got to worry about that. The number 1 defender, the anchor of the defense, that's Draymond. The focal point of the offense, that's Steph. Man, Wiggins just go hoop.
Yeah. With no pressure.
Hey, now I just go hoop. In this body is still a number 1 pick.
Yeah.
The talent that's in his body.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could go hoop.
He took on a Clay role defensively.
Now didn't that boy stick some D?
He did.
Yeah. He played some defense. And he showed some toughness too. Now I said that Steph had put on some weight. Okay, so
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
that helped him not get bullied.
For sure.
But him moving around helped that too. But Wiggs, you can't bully that scound either.
And you know what? You can't get to him mentally.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Not for that role. Now, if we wanted him to be the franchise
Yeah,
player,
that'll be
you
different.
probably mess him up mentally then. But for him to just come
Matter
out
of
here,
fact, you know what? I ain't even no Warriors fan, but shout out to Iggy. Because he was coaching them up.
oh, hold on.
He
Do
was coaching
what
them
you
up.
need to do.
Yeah. Shout out to Iggy, because you know they blasted the part where he yelling at him on the court, but they ain't really show the part where he was just he was frustrated with him.
People, I've seen them with love from that. You saw some hate on the timeline for that.
Well, yeah, you know how you have the people that
Boy,
say these are two grown men, you can't show up a grown man like that, all of that. But my thing is, they don't pay attention to the clip after that. Right after he did that, he on a bench with his arm around him, talking to him, telling him like this is out of love. And come on, for the people, if you play sports, you gonna get yelled at on the court. Be worried when you're not getting yelled at on the court, because then they just got you out there for them few little minutes just to let you be happy.
That's crazy, Joe. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a real OG. He remind. I saw a
He
Warriors.
gonna have the Udonis Haslam role, man.
I saw a Warriors account. Efo, you can't tell them nothing right now, okay? America, okay, you can't tell them nothing right now. I saw a Warriors account say, Iggy is who Udonis Haslam thinks he is.
Man, come on, man.
Like, cool out, man. UD got rings too, man.
Yeah, UD got rings too.
Hey, they did him wrong though.
And y'all won't say that to UD face though.
They showed Udonis doing like this. And they said that man is upset like he played in the game.
See, that's what and then what I don't like. Okay, and I'm glad you said that.
Y'all not gonna say that to Udonis Haslam's face.
I'm gonna end this one like this. I gotta say, shout out to my young boy Quindarius Weatherspoon. Shout out to that young man.
No doubt,
okay?
no doubt.
To be a youngin from Canton, Mississippi. Okay, played at a small 3A school. 3A is not big here in the state of Mississippi. Called Velma Jackson High School. Win 3 state championships there for a program that had never won a basketball state championship. Go to Mississippi State and be one of the best players in that program's history. And when you take into effect that he played 4 years, he climbed up their scoring chart and all that kind of stuff. And now he had to work his way through the G League, playing with the Spurs, come over to the Warriors, with their G League affiliate. While Clay is hurt, he's in there defending Clay so well that Klay Thompson puts in a good word for him. Like, hey, that man guarding me like that. We need to, so there's some really good guys in that Warriors locker room, bro.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
No
like,
doubt.
For that man, for Clay to vouch for that man like that, Iggy, you've been spending time with that, and that's so weird. I had, like in 2019, I sent that man a video of Iggy on the Breakfast Club. I was like, man, you need to watch this. This man talking that woo woo woo. And now he gets to be with that dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How life come like that. But you made me think of that, Joe, when you said folks were clowning UD, thinking he didn't do nothing. Quindarius had to be, and this is what his coach Anthony Carlisle tell me. Shout out Carlisle. Carlisle say Quindarius told him that he had to be Luka Doncic in practice during that series. And then for this series, he had to be, I think, Jaylen Brown. Without that kind of stuff happening, like you got to have that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Folks be thinking,
Exactly.
who is this? You ain't did nothing. You ain't earned your ring. I coached the team my second year in education. I didn't have enough players to practice. So I had 5 boys. So in practice, for the defense on there, it was just me hopping around in front of all their faces. It's just me hopping from one butt to the other. It take more than them 5 boys on the court.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know our crazy coach Keith Barnes said, all I need is 5. What you say?
All I need is 5. I've won with 4. I can play with 3.
I know the coaches say that.
Yeah,
But you
gotta
can't
have
run.
more.
You can't run nobody practice like
No,
that.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So shout out to my young boy. You earned that
Yes,
championship.
sir.
You've been on my
Yes,
shit
sir.
list for a minute now. Okay. Because you didn't come pick up them statement tees that your little ass ordered. But I'm gonna take you off the shit list because you had your son on that podium with you.
That's what's up.
That was a proud moment. So shout out to the Golden State Warriors. But I'm telling y'all Warriors fans, man, you're gonna be at odds if you try to put Steph over Kobe. Get ready for battle now. If y'all try that. I'm ready. Are you? Put it on something. My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across all social media platforms, like the videos, and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit statementtees.llc.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
Makes a statement.